YouTube! I clearly stole that from somebody. If you know, you know, but I mean, anyways, let's get into the video. And today we have Shinobi Lilebette. I actually got her within 2 single pulls. I just had a gut feeling just to do 2 single pulls, and I actually got her. This isn't a unit that I would say is worth it, but I mean, she is pretty fun. Just to showcase the gacha that I'm not lying, as you can see, I have hero medals right here. I have 2 of them. I was not going to do her step up because I don't think she's a unit that is a must have. She does have 2 magic skills that are pretty unique to her, which I would say that's the only reason why you should get this unit. She does have Fatal Strike, but Fatal Strike requires you to have a machine and a sword equipped, which is pretty hard. I'll talk about it later whenever we go through her kit. I'm also in a good mood right now because I also ended up getting, I got Yuta's UR arc, and I also got Judica's UR. So I'm in a good mood right now, and I still have 20,000 free crystals. With the banners that are out right now, I would say that Liberath is probably the top priority. I believe after this one is over, we should get Celestial, Shift Celestial. I will be pulling on that banner because I really want to get his UR. His UR has a Human Geyser, which I really need that for PvP. Moving along to Shinobi Lilebette, we will go through her kits and how I have her build up. Since I got her pretty early on, I was able to fully max out most of her stuff. So going here through her summary, she's weak to Thunder, so she won't be good against Judica. Judica will crush her. For her ailments, I think they're fine for the most part. She is weak to magic, so she can get silenced, which will prevent her from casting her magic. Other than that, I think it's pretty okay. Her attribute resistance, she's resistant to fire, ice, and earth. The earth is actually pretty nice, but for thunder, she could get wrecked by Judica. For her stats over here, we have HP, something that stands out. I don't think anything really stands out. She does have good STR. Moving along to her abilities, we have frontal long range ice combo attack, a medium ice combo attack, and we also have instantly close the gap. Her best skill will be her skill 3 since she can't be interrupted. It's also a pretty unique skill, the fact that she can use it at any moment, at any place in the map, and she will reset back. So it's basically a safe zone for her. Her ultimate is, there's nothing special about her ultimate. Moving along to the most important stuff about her, as you can see, this is what I'm talking about right here. Specifically right here, her first trait. Ice damage 50, damage cap 6000, okay. 2 ice weapons equipped. So you must have 2 ice weapons equipped. When you do, skill attacking chance to deal Fatal Strike. So her Fatal Strike is limited, and it's basically limited, and you can only use it if you have 2 ice weapons equipped. So you must have 2 ice weapons equipped for her to proc Fatal Strike. Afterwards, she has this Shadow Clone buff. This just allows her to nullify magic and physical damage. And she also gets extra hits with her skills, which is really nice. I do think this unit would have been great if she had true dual wield, but as you can see from her trait, instead of giving her true dual wield, they decided to give her this, which is basically like true dual wield, but it's not as good. It also requires you to cast a magic, so I mean, it's something, but I mean, they clearly knew that if this unit had true dual wield, she will be very strong. So sadly, they gave her this instead. It's basically a nerfed version of that. Her second trait basically says she notifies damage. This is very cool about her, the fact that she can do this 3 times. She can survive lethal damage, which also gives her SCT for 1 skill. Well, I believe it's random, that's the only downside. But she can do that 3 times, and whenever she survives, she insta moves to a random location. Now this thing is really bugged for me. I did try this unit out in Histomia. Don't ask why, I just really wanted to see what she could do in Histomia. And whenever she took lethal damage, she ended up proccing this skill, and she actually got stuck. She literally just retired and left the game. Like, her icon was alive, but in game I couldn't really see her. I couldn't move her around or anything. She was bugged out. She just disappeared completely, and I clearly lost that match. I feel sorry for the guy that I joined. I was just testing this unit out, and I wasn't able to help that guy out with Histomia because this unit just bugged out. I mean, her damage in Histomia is okay, but it's nothing amazing, especially because she doesn't have any slayers for humans. Now, the thing about this unit that I will say, she's kind of like a Joker. She does a lot of different things, but she's not a master of any of them. I will say that this unit is mostly a PvE unit, and when I say PvE, I mean strictly story mode. She does have slayers for creatures or beast buster, so it's clearly story mode. Even if it's multiplayer or PvP, I would still say that she's pretty bad in those two regards. So I would say that she's mainly a new player friendly unit. Even though I say that, building her does require you to get ice weapons and ice, especially an ice sword and an ice machine, which for new players that will be very difficult. Even I, who's an endgame player, I don't really have any ice machines, so it's very difficult. Now I want to showcase her paids real quick. The best paid for her is her weapon, because it's a machine ice, which we don't have many of those, and it also gives her fatal strike, gives her damage. This is the best one. I did see her accessory. I'm disappointed about her accessory. Her accessory basically gives her another extra life, but the main thing that annoys me so much is the fact that she has skill 2 fatal strike 1.5, which her skill 2 is the worst one. She has to get close up, and for some reason it takes like a weird lag input whenever she casts her skill 2. So don't even bother with the accessory. It should have been skill 3. I'm not sure why they gave it skill 2 fatal strike. That's pretty bad. That's pretty much it for her paids. Like I said, I don't think this unit is a must-have, so honestly, I'm sorry to say this, but you would be very dumb if you actually get her paids. She's not a must-have. Like I said with Judica, I said that he's not a must-have unless you want to play PvP, but Judica has way more value than this unit. This unit isn't anything amazing. I will say that she's far worse than Judica. Since Judica obviously is built for PvP, this unit, like I said, she's like a joker. There's no real placement for her right now. At the time of this recording, it is pretty early for her, that she just came out like 1 day ago, but I can strongly say that she's not worth it. As a new player, if you do get her, then good for you. You can use her in story mode, but other than that, she's pretty bad. Now I want to showcase my build that I have for her. My build is free to play, but it does require a bit of items that you have to do the story. I honestly highly recommend going through Lake's Gold Mine. Through there, it should help you unlock this one quest. And the reason why I say that is because for equipments, I have this machine right here. As you can see, this machine is probably the best ice machine that we have right now. Basically just gives her some damage, and if I try to change it, I literally only have 4 ice. I have no idea what this one is. Marine Blaster. It's 8, while this one's 15. I believe these other 2 that I have are part of a special event. But as you can see, I only have 4. The best one is this one that I have. The way you get this one is by playing the casino, but you also have to unlock the casino by doing story mode. So if you really want a guide for that, just go to Lake's Gold Mine. He has a great description on how to get this weapon. Over here on her sword, this sword is probably the easiest one to get. It does require a bit of items to fully upgrade, but I will say that this is probably one of the best swords out there. Not only is it a good ice sword, but it's probably the best sword out there. When defeating an enemy, it gives SCT, and it also gives her damage. So as you can see, both of these weapons are ice, so I am getting benefits of fatal strike. Not only that, but she also has a skill set over here, I'll showcase it later, that requires her to use a sword and machine in order to gain STR buffs and I believe fatal strike buff as well, or rate, I believe. Now moving along to her accessories, I have this accessory. This is probably one of the best accessories that we've had for ice. You get this through Histomium. Basically gives her damage, gives her critical rates. I am building my unit as a critical rate unit because I am using Icy Guardian. Icy Guardian is just perfect for her. It not only gives her damage, but also benefits with ice and the extra damage. For her second accessory, I have this one, which is crit rate, which is nice, and it also gives me some benefits while fighting a boss. For crest, I have this right now. I'll be honest, I haven't really farmed battle graph. I'm just lazy with that. It just takes a while to defeat those bosses. So for right now, I only have this equipped, which is just some machine boost. It's nothing that big. Moving along to her skills, I'm just gonna filter and just showcase what I have on her. I'll start from the bottom. Okay, she has speed. This is part of her own kit. Ice, fatal strike +1. That's nice. This one is very nice. 2 weapons equipped. Gives her 30 damage. A cap. No. Skill caps. This is the skill that I was talking about. So sword or machine equipped, skill and special 30, damage cap 3000. Okay, right here, this final sentence right here. When a sword and machine is equipped, sword and machine STR 200, skill attacking fatal strike cap 30,000. I believe her fatal strike is higher than not Judica, what's his name, Joshua. From what I've seen from the numbers, she has like 10,000 more, at least for my build that I have on Joshua. So the fact that her fatal strike is that high, it's good, but like I said, it does require you to have a sword and a machine equipped. So if you have this unit, make sure to equip a sword and machine. I can't really say which is better. I'm not sure if it's better to get 2 ice weapons equipped or if it's better to get, well, actually it's better to get 2 ice weapons equipped, because that's how you allow the unit to have fatal strike. If you have a sword, if they just happen to be a sword and a machine, then she'll get this benefit, which this benefit won't happen if she can't even cast, or not cast, but she can't proc fatal strike. So the most important thing is to have ice weapons equipped. But to fully get the benefit of her kits, you will have to have a sword and a machine equipped. Had a stroke right there for a second. This one is just survive lethal damage on boss wave. This is kind of weird. They build her as a boss unit. That's the reason why I have some boss items on her. But the thing about it, I don't really see her as a boss killer at all. Well, when it comes to PvE, yeah, but I mean, it's hard to say. I just feel like she could have had more skills against bosses. I think that if they're gonna build her as a boss, instead of giving her brute Buster, it could have given her, well, actually I'm not sure if Brute Buster is better than Boss Slayer. Well, actually I think Boss Slayer would be better, because that means that you can use the unit in Histomia, since Histomia is considered a boss. So they should have given this unit Boss Slayer, not Brute Buster. That kind of limits her into playing PvE, story mode, or Battlegraph. Going back over here, her skill 3 just basically gives her some defense, some damage, cap, and then she also has giant killing. And then I just added these two, since these two give her cap and damage with bosses. I do have skill charge 3. I do have purple orb on her just because I think it's very cool. I'll showcase her magic. I also have some boost on her skill 3. I do have this unit build as a boss slayer, or not slayer, but a boss killer, and a and building her skill 3. I do have some boost right here for machine, sword. I believe some of this, well, just these 2 skills right here. I believe this one is from a UR and this one is from a collab arc, so some people won't have this. I'll just tap them so you can see what they do. This just gives her some skill damage. This one also gives her skill damage. She has armor piercing. She has speed boost. Now this right here, this is very confusing. When I said this unit is like a Joker, this is what I mean. You can build her damage based on Terra Milf. Since she has 4, you can stack up the other 3. But then she also has Sky High, which, this is the thing that very much annoys me, is the fact that she has Sky High, but I believe most bosses you can't even pick up. So I'm not really sure why they gave her Sky High. Well, her skill 3, that's basically what it does. It just kind of pushes the enemy up. But like I said, I believe most bosses you can't even pick up, so I did not build her as a Sky High unit, and I did not build her as a Terra Milf. I just feel like that requires a little bit more. What I have on her, just building her as a skill 3 boost and a boss killer, that's probably much more easier to build. It's very nice that she has Goddess Kiss. It's very annoying having to add this to every unit, or every unit that uses magic or has a buff skill. So it's very nice that she has Goddess Kiss. She has Spirit Breath. Now I believe they did know, like, Adis isn't dumb. I believe they clearly built this unit for free-to-play units or free-to-play players, because they added Spirit Breath, and which is a skill that many of us don't use anymore. But if you're a new player, this is probably the best skill that you can use in order to gain SCT. So that's nice for new players. We do have some ice damage boosts. I gave her Ice Drive and Ice High Drive. The main reason why is because that's the only thing I could afford with the SC that I have. Now for Silver Lining, this is just some more skill damage. I believe this is from a UR. Like I said, I'm also building her as a crit unit, so I did give her Ardor, and she also has Pride for STR, more damage boost for stats. She has Brute Slayer, which she would be great against beasts, plants, insects, birds, fish, creature types, which I think the best thing about this is creature types. We have seen a lot of units in PvP that are creature types, but like I said, I don't think this unit is very good in PvP. She does have a shield for those units as well, which is nice. Now this is something new, Sunflame. Enemy drawn -2, chance to evade physical. Okay, it's just basically an evade. I believe you can probably stack the other evade on her just to help her out with avoiding damage. And lastly, I gave her an attack up because why not? I just had one SE available. Now moving along to her magic. This one is very nice because it blinds the enemies in a wide area, which has a chance to give gloom. I believe gloom is the same thing as blind, but gloom is just, I'm not sure. I believe it's far worse, but it's similar to, well actually now I think I know what it is. Blind is only for physical attacks and gloom is for physical and magic. So I believe gloom doesn't really stack. Like I said, it's a chance. That chance is probably like 1.5%. So I mean, it's nice that she has this. Now she also has this right here. This is probably a great skill for her when it comes to PvE content. It basically just, like I said, from her trait, it doubles her hit count, and it also restores 1 SET in all of her skills, which is very nice. This is basically like Winry's Apple Pie or anything that is similar to that, but this is just like a nerf version. But it's very nice that she still has it in her kit. So it's, like I said, this unit is very free to play unit, so that magic is very nice. Just one last look. This is what I have on her equipment, and that's pretty much how I have this unit build. I am trying to talk a bit fast in this video because I want to keep my videos shorter than I usually have, so hopefully this helped out anybody who wants to know if this unit's worth it. Like I said, I don't think it's worth it. When I said Judica isn't worth it, he's only worth in PvP, but when I say this unit isn't worth it, I mean like she's literally not worth it at all. Even if you're a new player, I would recommend getting Liberith. After you get Liberith, you can probably pull for Judica. But honestly, we are getting closer to the collab. I believe next week we have Celestial coming back. And then I believe the week after, that's when we will get the collab. I could be wrong, but I believe we have 2 more weeks before the collab comes in. I will make a video next week talking about Celestial and his UR. Hopefully I can get his UR. I won't go too hard because I did spend a lot of gems. I had like 50,000, which luckily I still have 20,000 saved up, but I need to save up more. This unit is Liberith. This is the unit that I recommend as of right now. We also have this unit. This unit got an insight. This guy is terrible, honestly. Just don't get him. Even though it's free to pay crystals right here, I do think it's very nice, but I hope they add different units in this special banner. If they ever add Melza or Lena the Warlock, I 100% recommend getting this banner, the 5,000. If you ever see Melza or the Warlock Lena, those are probably the best insight units that we've had so far, so hopefully they do add them here in the special banner section. But coming back over here to Shinobi Lilebette, I will say that she's not worth it. This is kind of like a fan favorite. Apparently she's a fan favorite, but honestly she was just rated during the time this pool came out, so it's up to you. I would say the only reason why you should pull this unit is if you like her character, but even if you do like her character, I think it's better to skip her. She's not really worth it. The only reason why I did 2 single pulls is because I was trying to hopefully get her SSR. In my previous video, I talked about this one skill right here, which luckily we have it in an SSR arc, which is basically just laceration. This just allows you to have laceration in any of your characters, but we also have a boost for laceration, so clearly Adis is building laceration up, which I 100% have a strong feeling that we will get a collab unit that has laceration that probably doesn't have the limitation. We'll probably get a collab unit that can probably do 30% instead of 15%, or a collab unit that can do magic laceration, not physical. So I really think this SSR is pretty nice. It also has Ice Boost, Ice Rush, which Terra Melf 2. This SSR is pretty nice. Now the weapon here is pretty bad. Not the fact of what it does, but the fact that it's an axe and then it's an ice. Like, it doesn't really make sense. I do think the trait that it has, it's okay. It's not bad. Now the trait in this arc, I would say it's pretty okay. I believe this SSR is meant for any unit that does physical damage from long range, which we don't really have many that do physical damage from long range. I would probably say, from the top of my mind, the only characters that I can think about is Lilibette and Silver Society Linus, but I mean, both of them are mainly mages. They're not really physical damage dealers, but you can build them to physical damage dealers. I don't think this trait is that great. It's interesting, but it's not that great. But yeah, that's it. My final thoughts. She's not a must-have at all. Like I said, it's hard to find any placements that she's good at. Easily a skippable unit. Do not go for this unit. She's bait. I think we've only had 2 other units that have ever had a popular pool. I believe it was Magius and Lilibette. I find it very funny that many of us picked Lilibette. We actually thought that she would probably come out as a mage, but tricked us and they actually made her into a physical damage dealer, which was pretty bad. The only nice thing about her was the fact that she was non-attribute, but I mean, that still couldn't really carry her as a unit. Magius, I was on and off whenever Magius came out, so I can't really say if he's any good. But coming back to Lilibette, she's not worth it. She has cool magic. She's fun to use with her cool magic, but other than that, she's pretty bad. She does require you to fully build her, and it just very much annoys me the fact that she needs a machine and a sword equipped. Like I said, as you can see, I didn't even do her step up. Her step up isn't even worth it either. I wouldn't even go for it. I would rather get the LC pass or the LC whatever this thing is right here. It's called the LC rewards. Luckily they did buff this section of the game, but I don't usually get this because I'm an endgame player. I don't really need many of this stuff here. So if anything, I'd rather spend my money on this instead of getting the step up for a little bit. This is probably the best bang out of your buck when it comes to LAST CLOUDIA, doing the first lap of the step up. But I would only do it for units that are very good. Like I said, Lilibette is not, so she's easily skippable. Now for the rest of this video, I talked about Lilibette. I sort of try to convince you not to get her, but this next part of the video I will showcase her in Battlegraph and in PvP. I just kind of want to have fun with her and just showcase her. So this next part of the video you can pretty much click out. I'll probably do this for the rest of my LAST CLOUDIA videos. For the first half, I will talk about the unit and I'll discuss if she's worth it. And for the second half, I'll just try to showcase the unit. That is, if I do have the units, I'll showcase the units and some of the content that it's meant for. So let's move along to Battlegraph first. I have not played Battlegraph, as you can see, but I think I'm gonna try out this boss. Difficulty isn't that high, it's okay. This is the team that I have so far. It's basically like an ice team. I'm hoping it can benefit a little bit. I am trying to showcase Lilibette, so I have Lilibette as my main DPS. I have this swimsuit Lilibette as an ice unit that can also deal ailments, and I have this unit. This unit is pretty strange. She can buff ice units, but she's also a collab unit, so many people won't have her. And I also have Sarah just for heals and support. I have not used these units in a while, so I'm not sure what they can do. Give 1 unit's ice weakness. I switch target to the main boss. Nope, you're not the main boss, you're the main boss. Boost all enemies laceration count by 50%. And boost damage taken, damage duration stats, ailments. It's an anima. I don't see why not. I will cast this. That's nice. I took those guys out. What happened there? Let me just focus on Lilibette. Okay, Lilibette blinds. Please blind. Use your skill. Okay, there she goes. That's very nice. Oh, what's going on over here? Just trying to focus on the other units behind me. Okay, yeah, I mean, it is level 105, so it wasn't that hard for her, but she also has Beast Buster, so I think she can be very nice in Battlegraph. I'm just going to show her again. One thing nice about her blind skill is the fact that it's like an area. I'm not sure how big the area is, but the fact that she can get multiple units at once, it's pretty nice. Let me cast all these buffs. Let me lower the boss's attributes. Oof. As you can see, I got silence, which is probably the worst thing that can happen for Lilibette. I can't use her magic. So I'm just going to cast this. Hopefully I can do some damage. I mean, her damage is okay. I'm not sure how long that silence lasts. I'm I'm trying to stun this boss. Lilebette, please stun. I don't think this boss can be stunned actually. Ooh, Fatal Strike, that was nice. Okay. This is level 1010, so it's pretty easy for her. I just kind of wanted to showcase where she has potential in. She does have potential here in Battleground Simulator, but I'm not sure which boss is weak to ice. I was trying to look through them. I did not want to use these two since they're level 1 or level 10. It's kind of easy to defeat these. I believe this one is probably weak to ice. No, actually, I don't even know if any of these bosses are weak to ice. I just know in story mode this boss is weak to ice, but I don't know, it's hard to tell. But moving along, I will showcase Lilebette now in PvE or PvP. Okay, we are in PvP, and this is the team that I have with her. I gave her this arc because this arc basically boosts her S3. I was thinking of making her into a debuff unit that can blind the enemy, but I don't really know if it's worth. Well, she does need 30 MP either way, so I think this can come in handy, and somebody can probably make a goofy build with her in PvP. But for right now, this is my team that I have. I obviously had Judica. Judica's just OP. I have Jean as a tank. I believe Jean is a counter unit. I did buff her counter, which I'm not sure if she's a counter unit or not. I could be completely wrong. I just know that she's a tank. And I also have Sarah. And the formation that I have right now is Berserker. Berserker just seems kind of cool as the layout that I have. So hopefully it's actually pretty good. But let's test it out. You know what? Let's test it out and go with this guy. The number 1 that I have right here. Here we go. Let's see what happens. I'm gonna try to focus on obviously Lilebette. Let's see what Lilebette does. Okay, she used her skill and she literally missed everybody. Okay, she survived. Okay, my team is getting demolished. This team is obviously not a PvP unit, a PvP team. I just built it randomly. Oh, look, I got demolished. Yo. Well, I guess one thing that we can see from here is the fact that Lilebette literally missed the entire enemy team. She did survive longer than the rest of my team, but that wasn't good at all. I probably shouldn't have gone after the first team up here. Her damage is not that great. You know what? I'll give her the benefit of the doubt that I did pick the wrong team. I will try to go a bit lower. There is a team right here, Vago, but that guy looks like he's baiting me into attacking him because he has Amelia. I would try to go with this team. That Lilebette isn't really a PvP character. I'm not sure about. I forgot this girl's name. I think it's Ebby. It's something with EB something. I do not remember her name. But this guy does have Lexaeus. I think I'm just going to switch this guy out. I'm going to lose the team, but I'm going to switch this out for Lexaeus. I mean, you can't go wrong with Lexaeus. Lexaeus is probably the best unit in game that I would say. He's good in everything. If he ever gets a rerun or if he ever comes out in tickets, select tickets, probably in the half Adney, I highly recommend getting Lexaeus. Let's try this team out. Okay, something just happened. Where's my girl? She's not even moving. What is she doing? What? Is she waiting on me to do something? I have no idea what happened there. They did make an update, which apparently it had to do something with laceration and with Lilebette, I believe. I'm not sure if Lilebette is still kind of buggy, but she didn't really do anything there. I have no idea what she did. She just stood there. Lilebette, if you're just gonna stand there, I guess I'll build you as a mage. Well, not really a mage, but you get my point. As a support magic. I'll give Lilebette another try. This time I build her as a debuffer. I took off her other magic. I want her to cast this one. The only downside is that she's a melee unit, so she has to gain MP some way. Well, actually, I think I'm gonna do this instead. I have this item. This item is from like a limited arc that comes around during New Year's, I believe. This item right here, this accessory, gives her MP. Hopefully this is enough MP for her to cast this magic. I do have this arc equipped with her, which lowers 50% of MP, so the MP should be 15 now. I have this arc on her, so let's try it out. Let's try this out, this team build that I have. It's kind of weird. Let's see, what team should I fight? You know what, I think I'm gonna go for this one. Level 100. I should be able to win this. Let's showcase Lilebette here as a debuffer. Hopefully she can do something here. Help out my team. Judica will probably destroy that enemy base, enemy team. Oh wow, what is she doing? She casted her magic, and there's nobody around, so Yep, my Lexeas and Judica literally carry with DPS. I have no idea what she was doing. Like I said, this is the one downside about her. I don't see her very good in PvP. She is a melee weapon, a melee user or melee attacker, so in order for her to get MP, she does have to do damage. So I said, as you can see, she got up close in the front lines, which I do not have her build as a tank, so that could have been dangerous. I think I'll stop playing around with her. I did lose one battle. I was willing to risk it, but this time around, I kind of don't want to lose. I actually want to rank up in arena. Hopefully I can get somewhere in the top. She's not built for PvP. She does have some unique skills that kind of seem like it could be useful in PvP, such as her blind, the fact that she can actually survive like 3 times. It seems pretty nice, but in theory, as you were able to see, she clearly gets demolished. It doesn't really make sense because if you want her to be a debuffer, she does need to get up close in order to get MP. And if you try to use her as a skill damage unit, as you saw the first time around, she clearly missed the entire team. I have no idea how, but she did. So she's not good in PvP at all. You know what, I'm gonna showcase her in Histomia. I was able to find this guy who's going against Ignis. I believe she's weak to ice, so hopefully we can shine and showcase the good side of Lilebette. Hopefully my Yuta doesn't demolish the enemy. Okay, let's cast that. Cast this. Okay. Just hoping my Yuta... I'll let my Yuta do her thing. I do want to showcase this. Okay, that's her S3. Okay, see, that damage is okay. It's not bad. It's pretty good damage. Okay, her S2. As you can see, her S2 for some reason it has like this weird charge up. Kind of hate it. Okay, I probably should use my Yuta. I don't want to. I want this guy to actually win. I don't want to ruin his game right here. S3, S3, please proc. There we go, Fatal Strike, that was pretty nice damage. There we go. That wasn't bad. I wish there was like a stat menu that you can check after you're finished with like, not just Histomia, but any match. I wish there was like a stat bonus so you can see what exactly your unit did or how much damage the team did. I will say don't use Lilebette in Histomia. Like I said, I do not think they fixed the bug where she can actually get glitched out if she ever casts or whenever her trait procs when she's kind of like teleporting in different locations. So it's still dangerous to use her in Histomia. You could ruin somebody's match. I was just confident in that match because I had Yuta. I found somebody else who's fighting Ignis. Hopefully I can showcase Lilebette again. Let's see. This time I don't have to focus on Yuta. We have a Yuta playing right now, so hopefully this match starts up. Here we go. I'm gonna cast Gloom or Blind first. Hopefully we can cast Gloom on this unit because she does cast pretty nasty magic damage. Okay, the guy left and we weren't able to cast Gloom. That's fine. Okay, S3, here he goes. 60, 80 hits. Okay, this guy is casting... I'm not sure what he casted. I only have 20 seconds before my buff runs out. Okay, that's pretty nice. Okay, S2 is terrible. I hate it. I keep clicking on it. Just use your S1, which throws the boomerang weapon. I'm not sure what you would call this. And there we go. The beginning first half was my damage, which was okay. But I believe afterwards it was actually Leonardo. I want to help this guy out, so I'm going to try it again. I'm going to focus on Lilebette only. Let's see what we can make happen right here in the beginning part. That was great damage. Okay. I'm sure her S2 could be very good if you had her accessory, but I'm not getting that. Maybe I will in the far future, but for right now, nope. Not worth it. S3. Boom. As you saw, the Fatal Strike, I think it was like 180,000, which I believe it's higher than my Joshua build that I have. So it's not bad. It's okay. Like I said, pick your battles. As you can see, Lilebette is doing amazing here. The main reason why is because the boss is weak to ice, and that's pretty much it. Also, I have my teammate right here, Leonardo. I believe he has an anima that boosts ice damage, so that's pretty nice as well. So pick your battles. Make sure you pick the right ones. If I ever went against Sykes, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing his name right, but I believe I played him and I actually got wrecked. Lilebette couldn't do anything about it. Let me just focus real quick. I want to make sure we win this. This is the only downside about this unit. This unit does have to get close up, and then she eventually gets her MP up. This guy might eliminate her before I can cast my S3. Yes, he did. As you can see, Leonardo is such a way better ice unit. If you didn't get him, I guess you could use Lilebette as an alternative, but it was still great to showcase Lilebette. She is kind of fun, but she's not great at all. You do have to pick your battles. She's not a plug and play unit. At least when it comes to story, I'm sure she is, but when it comes to anything else, she's not. As you've seen in PvP, I got demolished. And when it comes to multiplayer, I think she's okay in multiplayer, but you have to pick your battles. But other than that, that's my showcase. This is the second part of the video. I just want to showcase the units. And other than that, I just want to say thank you for those who do watch. I'm trying to be more talkative, but it's kind of hard. Like, I'm new to this, but I'm trying to get better. Not only that, I know the quality of the video isn't the best. I am working and trying to get a game capture. But when it comes to technology, I always like to buy the most expensive. I know the most expensive isn't always the best, but for the most part, when it comes to technology, it usually is the best when it comes to longevity. So I am trying to save up to get a, well, I have to pay for other stuff as well, but I do want to get a game capture so I can capture my phone to my PC to be better. I know some people will probably say, how come I'm not playing through Steam? The main reason why I'm not playing through Steam is because in Steam I have my second account, and when it comes to LAST CLOUDIA, when it comes to like exchanging accounts and whatnot, it can be very strict. They do have like a little warning that says if you do this too often, or if like they basically just warn you, telling you that there's a high chance that you can lose your account. So I'm just very scared to constantly transfer my second account and my main account when it comes to PC. So I don't really want to do that. The best solution that I have is doing this, which is like a Wi-Fi virtual display connection that I have going on. I know the quality isn't the best, but I am saving up to get a game capture. The game capture should fix this problem. When it comes to my second account, I haven't showcased my second account. There isn't much in my second account. I'm still trying to build some units in that account. My second account, what I am trying to do is trying to complete the main story. After I'm done with the main story, I do want to do sort of like a guide or tutorial, because there are some boss battles and there's also some cool loot that you can collect throughout the map when it comes to LAST CLOUDIA. Like, for example, there's 2 URs. Well, actually, I think there's like 3 URs. I know one of them is this one, Liberator. A lot of people probably don't have this UR. This UR is very hard to get. Well, actually, it's part of very easy now. It's very easy now because many of the bosses are like 1 year old. So many of the units right now could literally solo those boss battles. There's also this one arc that I have. Let me see if I can showcase that. I just kind of want to show off real quick. Game Master. This arc is probably the most difficult arc to get, and I'm here to showcase it just because I want to show off. Literally isn't anything great about this arc, honestly. It's kind of like a funny arc. For the skills, it does have this skill, Runner High. It does seem like a cool skill, but honestly, in paper, whenever you use this on a unit, it's not actually that great. It's kind of hard to see if it's actually doing anything. But I just want to show off that this Game Master arc that I have. I kind of probably want to do a guide in my second account. I am trying to complete the story mode so I can kind of like travel through different areas of the map and showcase some exclusive items that you should collect. But yeah, other than that, I've yapped long enough. If you're here this long for this video, thank you for watching. I don't really know much to say other than just grateful for the people who do end up watching this all the way through. I will make a video next week about Celestial. I'll probably try to keep that one short because I'll probably get the unit, but I won't have time to build him as I did with this unit. There's also a high chance that I probably won't get Celestial, which I'm okay with. What I really want is his UR. Other than that, thank you for watching. See y'all next week. I will make a video of Celestial, and I believe in 2 weeks we should be seeing something about the collab coming up. So make sure you save up gems, crystals, and see y'all next week.